enough hearing me talk. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to present to you right now the greatest new music ensemble in the country, playing the best local composers, Zeitgeist.
This event that we're bringing to you this evening is an annual event. It's the pieces resulting from our Sounding Ground program that we do courtesy of the Jerome Foundation. And so we have 3 participants that have participated in the program this year. Leyna Papach, yeah, awesome. Sarah Greer, and Niku. And also, J.C. Sanford has been joining in the workshop process, giving forth wisdom and getting in the mix. And so we'll have a new work by J.C. as well. To begin this evening, we have Person, a Requiem by Leyna. And this piece is the beginning germs of a new opera. And we get the chamber piece from it. And joining us is the gorgeous and lovely Alyssa Anderson. will take us just a wee second here to pull in May and her.
I turned it down a lot. But I was trying to keep it within the yellow, but it's hard to. Okay.
I must say, it's been quite an experience working with May. As she's been using these Casio instruments that I remember in my youth that were all the rage. All of the things that they could do and the things that they made possible, and having someone refer to them as vintage. I didn't call them that. I never called them that.
I'm May, and this piece is called Wrench-Loose, and it is very much inspired by Thomas Pynchon's book Gravity's Rainbow. Shouts out to the Gravity's Reading Rainbow Book Club who are here tonight. I'm just going to read a brief passage from Gravity's Rainbow. It's this passage is set in a church in London at Christmas time during the, in 1945 during the Blitz, during World War II. Oh, and in this church, a choir is performing the hymn In Dulce Jubilo. All but naked now, the shiny suits and gowns of their pub-crawling crimes, long torn to strips for lagging the hot water pipes and heaters of landlords, strangers, for holding the house's identities against the winter. The war needs coal. They have taken the next to last steps, attended the radio doctor's certifications of what they knew in their bodies, and at Christmas they are naked as geese under this woolen, murky, cheap old people's swaddling. Their electric clocks run fast. Even Big Ben will be fast now until the new springs run in, all fast, and no one else seems to understand or to care. The war needs electricity. It's a lively game, electric monopoly, among the power companies, the Central Electricity Board, and other war agencies to keep grid time synchronized with Greenwich Mean Time. In the night, the deepest concrete wells of night, dynamos whose locations are classified spin faster, and so, responding, the clock hands next to all the old sleepless eyes, gathering in their minutes, whining, pitching higher toward the vertigo of a siren. It is the night's mad carnival. There is merriment under the shadows of the minute hands, hysteria in the pale faces between the numerals. The power companies speak of loads, war drains so vast the clocks will slow again unless this nighttime march is stolen. But the loads expected daily do not occur, and the grid runs inching ever faster, and the old faces turn to the clock faces thinking plot. And the numbers go whirling toward the nativity, a violence, a nova of heart that will turn us all, change us forever to the very forgotten roots of who we are. But over the sea, the fog tonight still is quietly scalloped pearl. Up in the city, the arc lamps crackle, furious, in smothered blaze up the center lines of the streets, too ice-colored for candles, too chill-dropleted for Holocaust. The tall red buses sway, all the headlamps by regulation newly unmasked, now parry, cross, traverse, and blind. Torn great fistfuls of wetness blow by, desolate as the beaches beneath the nacre fog, whose barbed wire that never knew the inward sting of current, that only lay passive, oxidizing in the night, now weaves like underwater grass, looped, bitter cold, sharp as the scorpion, all the printless sand miles past cruisers abandoned in the last summers of peacetime that once holidayed the old world away, wine and olive grove and pipe smoke evenings away the other side of the war, stripped now to rust axles and brackets and smelling inside of the same brine as this beach you cannot really walk because of the war. Up across the downs, past the spotlights where the migrant birds in autumn choked the beams night after night, fatally held till they dropped exhausted out of the sky, a shower of dead birds. The Compline worshippers sit in the unheated church, shivering, voiceless as the choir asks, where are the joys? Where else but there where the angels sing new songs and the bells ring out in the court of the king? Strange 1,000-year sigh. Vanguard, were we but there. The tired men and their black bellwether reaching as far as they can, as far from their sheep's clothing as the year will let them stray. Come then, leave your war a while, paper or iron war, petrol or flesh. Come in with your love, your fear of losing, your exhaustion with it. All day it's been at you, coercing, jibing, claiming your belief in so much that isn't true. Is that who you are? That vaguely criminal face on your ID card? Its soul snatched by the government camera as the guillotine shutter fell? As you think about the falling German V-2 rocket, spare a moment of thought too for the American rocket designed by the same scientific luminaries such as Wernher von Braun that falls today, and think whose innocent head it falls upon. Okay.
number of years, actually. Really since I first read this book by Jonathan Balcom called What a Fish Knows. And I actually had been talking to Heather about it for a while and wanting to write something for Zeitgeist, and I applied for a grant last year and we didn't get it. And so kind of out of the blue, Heather was like, we need to make this piece happen anyway. And so I was just really thankful to be able to be included in this process and be able to hear these other great composers' music that's coming from all kinds of great places. That, that's one of the great things about these kind of things. Stuff I could never imagine thinking of that's just so captivating. So basically this book talks about fish and fishes from their point of view a little bit more. We tend to, as a society, commoditize fish, and so much that the plural for fish is fish because it's more just like milk or something like this. They're not really seen as individual animals. And not only are they individual beings with their own sort of like perceptions of the world, different species have developed these certain sort of behaviors that sort of help them to survive in ways, again, ways that we couldn't possibly imagine doing ourselves. So we're gonna take a look at a few of these different kinds of fish and sort of some ways that they move through life and the way they perceive life and the way they think about each other and their surroundings and probably how they feel about each other, which is a word that doesn't get used very much when talking about fishes. I'm basically going to kind of set up each one of these short movements talking about kind of at least the imagery behind them. And we're going to play an opening movement which is called On Behalf of Fishes. And this was a big deal to Balcom in his book, talking about how rather than referring to fish, a whole population of beings as just one sort of general thing, but each individual fish has its own identity. And so the ES on the end of fishes is a really important thing that we're going to stress a lot here. discovered is that when a frillfin goby is threatened, it will leap into the air into an adjacent tidal pool. And of course, the question is, how on earth could they know how to do that and not land on the rocks, on the shore in some way? And what they've determined is that before the tide goes out, when the tide is high, the goby swims around and makes a mental map of the topography of the ocean floor in that spot. So it remembers exactly how deep all the areas are around it, and so can make that sort of calculation and can flee that way. I wish I had that kind of perception. African tigerfish, if you've never seen one, cartoon version of like a scary fish. They observed at some point several years ago that these tigerfish in this reservoir, this particular reservoir, predate, means they hunt and eat, by the way, swallows that fly above the water's surface. Not ones that land in the water, although they do that also. The ones that are flying. And if you've ever seen a swallow fly, they're fast. And they can turn on a dime, right? So what kind of calculation goes in to be able to take into account refraction and anticipate the movement of this being that is in basically a different kind of space than you're in? Yet their success rate is incredibly high. So they do this in two ways. One way is that they sort of skid along just the surface of the water and kind of leap out. That way is a little bit more, gives them away probably a little bit more, making more noise, but they still manage to have pretty good success there. They do another way where they go deep and then do a more steep breach, more like you might have seen, like if you've ever seen footage of like a great white shark preying on a sea lion or something like that. It's sort of like that. So because of this reservoir, they figured somebody at some point in time, some tigerfish swimming around was like, what is that going on up there? I don't know how to get up there, but I'm going to try to go up there because there's not enough food around here. And enough of the others were like, wow, that seems to work. So I think we'll all try that now. And it just became a thing that they're all doing. So imagine what that might be like. sort of been in the, well, at least it's been on the web floating around for a while, pardon the pun, but divers a few years ago discovered this incredible pattern drawn in the sand. This is north of Japan, the sea north of Japan. And they just could not understand what it would be. It's very intricate in many sections, in a complete circle, looked like some very elaborate Indian sand painting or something like that, except it was underwater and there was nobody around. After further observation, what they figured out is that it was a pufferfish or a blowfish. And after much more observation, they realized this single fish builds this whole design painstakingly for a long time for mating purposes to try to draw in the right kind of female who appreciates his style, I guess. But it's an incredibly intricate work of art and crazily symmetrical, considering it's made of sand that's full of currents, that's a victim to ocean currents and things. So not only does he build this, he's constantly maintaining it and to keep it in place until the right female comes along and they have their tryst, and then the ocean just wipes it away over time and it's gone. Never be seen again. So it's hard to imagine two different varied kinds of fishes to be working together. Definitely different kinds of species to be working together to do things. But it turns out it's more common than we realized. And a really interesting example is something they discovered not that long ago, that there's a grouper is a big fish, it's a really big ocean fish, for those who don't know. Also, it's a band, maybe, or person. heard of this, but the fish, when it wants to hunt in among the coral and the rocks, can't get in there to get to the fish. So when smaller fish swim away, they swim in there and can't get it. So what he's developed is that he's got a buddy, which is a moray eel. And a moray eel, for those of you who don't know, it's a very large mouth, very scary looking kind of eel. And so when he wants to go hunting, he actually goes to the place that he knows the moray eel lives, and he goes and he gets him, and he's like, let's go hunting together. And they go out, and the eel swims through the coral and the rocks and flushes the fish out, and the grouper gets them. And vice versa. They basically, they're running from one to the other one, and they flee to a place where the other one is. There's been all kinds of other footage of other animals, other ocean beings that are doing this. You may have seen how there's an octopus that goes with a team, a posse of smaller fish, and is like punching them to try to get them to do the right thing, or they're not behaving correctly. So it just benefits them to work together, even though you wouldn't imagine kind of seeing them associating otherwise. So we're going to be depicting our own version of cooperation. movement is sort of a way of feeling like, you know, the way that Malcolm ends up this book is sort of like, boy, it's hard to imagine how we can't have an existence where we not only utilize fishes for food, but waste even more fishes than we actually consume, the whole industry that goes into that. So in a way, this is just envisioning a world where maybe we could just kind of coexist and not be so awful to the ocean itself, generally speaking, but particularly to its residents. Especially now that we've learned so much about what fishes do, know, and feel, and think about and perceive the world.
could return your attention to the front of the room and slowly wind your conversations down. It sounded like you were having a good time.
Yeah. I just like to say thank you to Aaron for having us here, to Renegade. It has been just such a beautiful experience. We are so happy to be in this beautiful and welcoming space. So, and thank you to all of you for coming out and sharing this evening with us. And then without further ado, we'll get to it.
So we wiggled a little and chatted a little, and now last year I did a lot of work with Dipankar Mukherjee from Pangea World Theater, and he has a process that he uses that we used in rehearsal, which is generically and lovingly called 2 minutes. So 2 minutes is 2 minutes of silence, and I say it's a felt 2 minutes rather than a timed 2 minutes. What I'm going to do is ring a chime. You're invited to settle into your seat, maybe let that wooden bench support your weight a little more. Eyes open, eyes closed. There will be a projection which you can engage or not, and that is how we will prepare to move into the piece. What's happening? What is happening? I mean, what on earth is happening? That is to say, what the actual is happening. So we are letting this happen. We're just going to keep on letting this happen. But how? When? What are we supposed to? What's happening? What is happening? I mean, what on earth is happening? That is to say, what the actual is happening. So you are, we are letting this happen. We're just going to keep on letting this happen. But how? When? What are we supposed to? What's happening? What is happening? I mean, what on earth is happening? What the actual is happening? So you are, we are letting this happen. We're just going to keep on letting this happen. We're just going to keep on letting this happen. We're going to keep on letting this happen. We're going to keep on letting this happen. We're going to keep on. We're just going to keep on. We're just going to keep on. this happen. We, you, me, I, we are letting this happen. We are letting this happen. We're just going to keep on letting this happen. But how, when, what are we supposed to? I am, you are, we are. We're just gonna keep on, we're just gonna keep on, hey, what's happening? What is happening? That is to say, I mean, what on earth, that is to say, what is happening? Six more people joined us today, and we went 2 more miles. That's 7 miles today, but that's 4 less than yesterday. 5 minutes ago, we saw 3 dead bodies at the side of the road. 6 times I fell. 4 times I skinned my knee, but 2 times, only 2 times I cried. 2 times. Cry. 3 times my heart died. 3 times my heart died. 3 times my heart died. 2 times my heart died. 6 times, 2 times, 7 times, 4 times, 5 times, 3 times, 6 times, 4 times, 3 times, 2 times, 3 times, 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, 6, 3 times, 5 times, 4 times, 7 times, 7 times, 7 times my heart. I'm pretty sure my heart stopped 2 times, 2 times, 4 times, 6 times, 3 times. No, 6 times, 2 times, 7 times, 4 times, 5 times. I'm pretty sure it was 5 times. Pretty sure it was 5 times. Pretty sure my heart broke 5 times. Earth of my body,
all our incredible composers